What if I told you that criticizing the government could now land you in federal prison? A sitting governor and a major city mayor just got hit with criminal grand jury subpoenas for speaking out. This isn't some third world dictatorship. This is happening in America, right now, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why this could affect you next. Stay till the end for the truth they don't want you to see. Here's how we got to this insane moment. Last week, on January 9th, a mother of 3 named Renee Good was shot and killed in Minneapolis. But here's the twist. She wasn't killed by a criminal. She was killed by an ICE officer during a raid. The community erupted. Protests flooded the streets. Enter our key players. Governor Tim Walz, you know him, Kamala Harris's former VP pick from 2024, and Minneapolis Mayor Frey. Both Democrats, both furious. They held press conferences condemning the killing, calling it unjustified, demanding accountability. They said ICE agents should be investigated. They questioned whether federal immigration enforcement was operating lawfully in their state. Standard political response, right? Wrong. Because 3 days ago, the Department of Justice under the Trump administration fired back hard. Federal prosecutors opened a criminal investigation, alleging that Walz and Frey conspired to impede federal agents. Grand jury subpoenas were issued. We're talking potential felony charges here. Let me break down the 5 things you need to understand about this case. Point 1. The legal theory is unprecedented. The DOJ is using federal statutes designed to prosecute people who physically obstruct law enforcement. But Walz and Frey never blocked anyone. They gave speeches. They criticized policy. Legal experts are calling this a weaponization of criminal law against political speech. Constitutional scholars say this violates the First Amendment so blatantly, it's shocking. Point 2. The timing is suspicious. This investigation launched within 72 hours of the criticism. Think about that. Normal federal investigations take months to develop. This moved at lightning speed, almost like it was pre-planned, waiting for an excuse. But here's what's crazy. Point 3. The Insurrection Act is on the table. Multiple sources report the administration is considering invoking the Insurrection Act in Minnesota. This is a law that allows the president to deploy active duty military to enforce federal law. It's been used maybe a dozen times in American history, mostly during the civil rights era. If invoked, you could see U.S. troops patrolling Minneapolis streets. Point 4. This sets a terrifying precedent. If governors and mayors can be criminally prosecuted for criticizing federal agents, what's next? Can state legislators be indicted for voting against federal priorities? Can citizens be charged for protesting ICE? Where does this end? Civil liberties organizations are sounding 5-alarm warnings. The ACLU called it blatantly unconstitutional authoritarianism. Wait, it gets worse. Point 5. Nobody's safe. If this stands, right now you might be thinking, I'm not a politician, this doesn't affect me. Wrong. If the government can criminalize political speech by elected officials with immunity and subpoena power, regular citizens have zero protection. Your social media posts, your protest signs, your letters to representatives, all potentially criminal if they impede federal operations. Let's talk about real people. Renee Good's 3 children are now motherless. The Minneapolis community is traumatized. Protests continue daily. But beyond that immediate tragedy, this affects your rights. Here's the impact on you. If you've ever criticized a government agency online, attended a protest, or signed a petition against federal policy, this precedent could be used against you. Your right to dissent, guaranteed by the First Amendment, is being tested right now in Minnesota. Your tax dollars are funding this prosecution. Federal resources meant for actual crimes are being redirected to investigate speech. And here's the kicker. If Walz and Frey are convicted, it opens the floodgates. Every governor who opposes federal policy, every mayor who criticizes an agency, becomes a potential criminal target. What happens next? 3 scenarios. Scenario 1. The courts throw this out immediately as unconstitutional. The DOJ backs down, embarrassed. Scenario 2. This drags through courts for years, chilling political speech nationwide as officials fear prosecution. Scenario 3. Convictions happen, the Insurrection Act gets invoked, and we see a fundamental shift in federal-state power dynamics. Legal experts I've consulted say Scenario 2 is most likely. The damage is already done. Officials across the country are now second-guessing whether they can criticize federal actions. Here's your 30-second recap. A governor and mayor criticized ICE after a civilian killing. The DOJ responded with criminal subpoenas, not for actions, but for speech. Constitutional experts are horrified. The Insurrection Act looms, and your First Amendment rights hang in the balance. My take? This is the most dangerous assault on political speech we've seen in modern America. Whether you love Trump or hate him, whether you support ICE or oppose it, weaponizing criminal law against criticism should terrify everyone. Because today it's them, tomorrow it's you. Comment below. Are you team they obstructed justice, or team this is authoritarian overreach? I want to see where you stand.